Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping and Paul Felder.
Break it down, Paul. Break it down. Nice and easy. Nice and gentle. Monday evening, somewhere in the world for the people watching. We had great fights at the weekend. We have Manel Kape joining the show. We also have Steven Asplund joining the show. Paul's hip is healing. My brain is... It's okay. It's okay. Paul, how the hell are you doing?
I'm good, man. We're getting a lot better. Hips healing. PT's going really well. Lifting, doing all that kind of stuff. Walking a whole bunch. So yeah, just got to get that range of motion back. You know how it is. You've had the knees done. It's tight for a while. Yeah, it's a bit tight.
Well, you know, you will play these games. You will go out there and fight for a living, Paul. Stuff's gonna go wrong.
Shit's gonna go south. It went south in my hip. And now my knee hurts. Swear to God.
Don't say it. I got my first knee replaced, and then my right knee never had an issue once, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, what is going on with the right knee? Now I'm retired. My son has something in common with you. Friday. I'm flying to Vegas for the fights, and as I said, we've got Manel and Steven Asplund joining later. But I'm flying to Vegas for the fights. I'm watching Lucas. He's loving wrestling at the minute. I'm watching on Flow Wrestling. Synapse. I wasn't there, obviously. Yeah. And he's wrestling this kid. He gets taken down, and then the kid backs away. Lucas doesn't get up. We're watching on a phone, and as a parent, me and Rebecca, because the house is upside down, we've got workers galore going on out there. We're huddled up in the bed, like our only part of the house that we can enjoy.
Privacy.
Yeah. We're huddled up on the bed. We're watching him. Lucas doesn't get up. 5 men walk over to him, pick him up, carry him off. His legs are dangling, not moving at all. And we're like, what is going on here? I've got to go to the airport. She goes to get him. I call a doctor that I'm friends with that's done a bunch of surgeries on me. He's like, he needs to get to the ER immediately. Thought it might have been a dislocated hip, which I didn't know you could dislocate a hip. That's what I thought it was. Turns out he only had a fractured hip. And then we were waiting to see if he needed surgery because they were going to go on with plates and screws and shit. Anyway, lo and behold, it was a anterior superior celiac avulsion. I think that's what he said it was. Hold on.
Interior. So on the inside.
Anterior.
So outside, right?
Yeah, I think so. Anterior something. Celiac avulsion. Anyway, turns out, best case scenario, he's fine. Rebecca came on with a wheelchair. I'm like, he doesn't need a wheelchair. She goes, he does. I said, the doctor said in a few days he'll be fine. And we're going to be stuck with a wheelchair in the house, right?
You never know, Michael. That might not be a bad thing to keep around the house, as the knees might go again.
The rate that I'm aging at. Yeah. So anyway, he couldn't move, and he was in a lot of pain, and he was crying. He was like, I can't move my legs. Saturday was a little bit better. By the time I'm back, he's hobbling about the house on crutches. Today, he's walking, and lo and behold, we still got a massive wheelchair in the house that's not going to be used, and I guarantee we're getting charged for it as well.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm glad he's out of the wheelchair, though. I mean, that's a great sign. He's young.
He was never in it.
We never even got it. So he never, other than when they brought him to the hospital, right? That's about the only time he spent in a wheelchair, and now he's got one. He can start doing wheelies on it, though. I used to do that all the time whenever I ran into a wheelchair. And then he shouldn't right now, though, because if he falls back and he's got a fracture in his hip, that could be a real problem.
He was in it last night, you know what I mean? I was like, Lucas, don't be silly, because sadly some people do have to spend time in the wheelchair. But he's like, oh, this is kind of cool, actually. Yeah. But anyway, wrestling, man. Wrestling. It is a tough sport. All of my injuries, for the most part, came from wrestling.
Yep. Backs. Think about all the neck stuff that you have. Certainly wasn't from kickboxing. It was definitely from wrestling. All the wrestling. And not even jiu-jitsu so much. It's just wrestling. It is. It's a brutal sport. Makes you tough as shit, though. So good for your sons for doing that. Do you know how did he land that he was able to did his hips close weird or something like that? Did he know? Did he feel it? Shit.
Because he's been cutting weight, right? So he was wrestling at 165, and he said, we think you should go down to 157. You're a little small. He's not small. He's 6'2", but a little light for the division. So he's cut weight on Wednesday for a duel, got a first round pin, first period. And then he cut weight again for on Friday. So he was keeping himself in a dehydrated state, right?
Yeah.
And then the guy shot in and his head, this is what we think happens. The head hit his hips because they're all skinny and bony and then caused a fracture. So
wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Crazy.
Skinny.
But that's scary because when you and Rebecca are watching that stuff too, you see him get carried off. You immediately think he can't move his legs. You think spine. You think
he couldn't move his legs.
Yeah.
And then when Rebecca's texting me on the plane and I'm like, so what's going on? She goes, they're doing imaging of his hips and his back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why his back? And they're like, because he can't move his legs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
Scary.
Oh, scary. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Never a dull moment in our house.
No, doesn't seem it.
We got a lot of fights to talk about. We got a lot of stuff. We got a couple of
14 of them, I believe, right? Or did it go down to 13?
I mean, Manel Kape respect to Brandon Royval, but Manel Kape, who's joining us later, he made short work of Brandon Royval.
Yeah, he's so fast, and he says it, and I think we all agree that if you're talking about pure punching power in that division, he's 100% king of that list right there. And it does come down to his speed. He's fucking fast. He's got good timing. He's unorthodox and brings a swagger to that octagon that if you're not 100% on your game, you'll get fucked up in the head when you're standing in front of that guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's got the ability to knock you out. He's swagging and moving in with different ways, switching stances and doing shit. He's a problem, and he's proven it yet again against a tough guy who went the distance with the now champion. So he's making the right call outs too. Yeah,
I mean, he had a big career outside the UFC. Made his debut in the UFC against Pantoja, right? So that's not an easy debut. Loses that one, then loses to Mateus Nicolau. Outside of that, he's beaten everyone. He's knocked out most people, not named Molmakayev. So we'll ask him about that later. But yeah, man, he is a problem. Royval, love the guy. He's a dog. He's always in the fight. He never gives up. But against someone like Manel Kape, you don't want to go back in a straight line. He backed up, he got cracked, and then he followed him up again. Caught him with that shot. He went down, and I know Brandon was complaining.
Yeah.
That's what we do, right? But he definitely went unconscious for a split second. And the referee did the right thing. He saw it. It was like, no, sorry, you're done. And listen, Royval, that's what you're supposed to do. As a fighter, I'd like to think we complain because we want to fight. No one's happy that the referee stepped in and stopped your fight. But, bro, you went to sleep for a second.
When you go out like that, like I know Manel woke him back up again, but as a referee, when you're seeing somebody completely 100% go unconscious for any moment in the fight, if you have the time to stop it and you're there, you're going to stop it. You can't get mad at any ref for that. You went out. You can't argue that one. If you had just been kind of taking some shots and he jumps in and you're still moving, you're trying to get to your feet, it's one thing. But you went completely out after getting rocked really bad and the ref's right there to be able to stop it. He's going to jump in. Even if you woke up and thought you were fine, you're not. Yeah. You get hit with another shot, you're doing more damage than needed.
Like a quick flash knockout like that, you don't even know it's happened. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times, and maybe you've got one, like where I've gone back to my corner and I'm like, what did he hit me with? What hit me? Because I know something hit me because I was buzzed and I've got blood pouring down my face, but I'm like, what was it? And they're like, oh, dude, you just took a heavy head kick or a flying knee or whatever. I've got no idea.
Yep. I've got a great one about that. My debut, I go all 3 rounds. The last 10 seconds or so, I'm like, all right. I was in a top position. We were grappling and it's my debut. I'm like, I want to put on a show. I get up. I'm dead tired. I get space with this guy who's primarily a jiu-jitsu kid that I fought in my debut. And we grappled almost the whole fight, and I was winning most of those exchanges. He hits me with a flying knee straight to the jaw. I take a step back. I go falling over, gets me in a fucking armbar, and the bell rings. The horn rings. It's the end of the fight. I get back, and I'm like, man, I hit him with a knee at the end, right? Did I rock him at the end? They're like, bro, you got dropped at the end of the fight and put in an arm bar. And I was like, what? No, I didn't. I need him at the end. They're like, no, you didn't. Yeah. You got dropped bad, bro. I didn't remember any of it. I was like, all right, let's go get a beer.
It is crazy how it like temporarily scrambles your brain because again, I can't think of one, but I certainly, I do recall, hearing Rogan commentating my fights going, he just said, what hit me? And it's like, I know for a fact there's been multiple times you got no idea because you
got buzzed, but you're like, what was it? I didn't,
because a lot of the time, if you see it coming, you'll move
remember
out the way.
Yeah, and you'll take it a little better. It's the ones that are just out of nowhere, and suddenly you're like, oh, my legs are wobbly. Like, I don't know. And people don't understand too. Like, if you've never been really hit like that, it's not a painful thing. It's more of a, you just feel, the vibrations, right? You know when you've been hit real hard, your whole body kind of buzzes. And
I fought UFC 120, Yoshihiro Akiyama.
Oh yeah, Sexy Yama.
Sexy Yama, baby. Bringing sexy back. Fight starts. We're just there. I'm giving it one of these, the feeling out process. Yeah. And he just comes, whoa, massive overhand right. And when you watch the fight back, it doesn't look like much. Rogan or whoever it is, reacts to it. He's hurt, whatever. And then I'm just dancing around, staying on the outside because I need to recover. But in my head, boom, flash of light. That's all I can hear. I'm like, oh my God. We're 15 seconds into the fight. I'm almost unconscious.
Yeah, not a good start. And again, from the outside, you're always amazed at how well you kept a poker face when you watch it back, right? Because in your mind, you're like, oh God, what the fuck was that? What's going on? But internally, you're losing it. But outside, you're just like, oh, you just roll with it, but you know how bad it feels. Yeah,
I guess that kind of leads us nicely into the co-main event. So Giga Chikadze, awesome striker, of course. I love watching the guy fight. Taking on Kevin Vallejos. This kid is unreal. I think now he'll be 17-1. First round, kind of close. Giga gets to work with some kicks and stuff. Vallejos, nothing major on either side, but round 2 starts. Cracks him with the right hand. Giga gives it one of them as if to say, what was that? Boom. Gives him another one. As Giga gets out that way, boom. Spinning back fist. Drops him. Few more shots. His arm was all like kind of trapped in a really bad way and a few more follow-ups. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was. Got him there.
Boom.
Dude. And how fast he reacted to him being hurt and falling down. He was punching him as he was falling down. He lunged in and he was going the other way from the back fist, managed to close that gap that quick and land those shots. That kid, he's scary, man. And he was taking those kicks that they were doing some good damage on the arm, but he stayed calm and he just waited for the moment to unleash that right hand and find that moment. And good IQ on his part too, because Giga's got to skirt away, right? He's got to go. And we talk about it all the time when we're calling fights that the guys that have really good fight IQ start to recognize patterns in the fight. He knew he was going to have to go that way based on the way he was moving from that right hand. And instead of trying to readjust and follow him, he just spun with it and went with the momentum and it paid off for him.
Well, it's kind of like Brandon Royval. I think I touched on it a second ago. You don't want to go backwards in a straight line when you've just been cracked. And I know boxing coach of mine, Mark Kinney, used to drill this into us all the time. We were only allowed to go if we were sparring or drilling or whatever it was. If we go backwards, two shuffles only in any direction. And then from there, you got to go left, you got to go right, you got to go whatever. Can't keep going backwards in a straight line. Certainly not when you've just been cracked. Because someone like Vallejos, the speed that he has with the power that he has, is just going to follow it up and do the same thing again. If you're on the straight line, and that's why people hear the commentators saying, you've got to take your head off the center line, don't be in a straight line and all this type of shit. That's why he got caught. Vallejos, though, he's the real deal, man. I said he's like he's not little, he's like a Ilia Topuria. I hesitated to say that.
I heard, I was listening, but you weren't wrong. And the way he moves just stays compact. Little to no real unnecessary movement. But again, in boxing, that's what you're taught. You're not taught to be like doing crazy weird stuff. You move the head within a limit and move your feet on those angles. And guys that like switch stances constantly and jump side to side, that's one thing. But he does it. Same with Ilia, where it's good movement. It's just not a lot of movement, but it's effective movement. He's similar.
It's economical movement.
Yes. Yeah.
You
can fight at that pace for a long time too.
And you've got people way out of the striking range sometimes doing this.
Like, why?
What are you doing? What are you doing? You're not in danger of being struck there at all. He can't reach you, but yet you're using all this energy and dancing around and shit for no reason. You are wasting energy. You only start moving your head when you strike, you pull it off the center line, or when you get in the pocket. Other than that, you're just having a little dance and a workout and getting out of breath for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, it always amazes me too, the guys that bounce and move around as much as they do. Again, similar when you're not actually engaged in the striking range. You're not actually even in takedown range necessarily, and you're using all that movement, which when you're in the pocket like you're talking about, then it matters. But, young guys.
Young guys, they'll learn. These kids, Paul, these kids, man, these kids. Delicious, guys, delicious. These are that I'm eating right now. Vandy potato crisps, and they are part of a growing movement to bring back real food, the kind that our grandparents were raised on. Vandy crisps, potato chips, whatever you want to call them, they contain just 3 ingredients: 100% pesticide-free potatoes, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. No seed oils, no mystery chemicals, just real food. And the best part is, hold on, the taste absolutely amazing. Snacking on Vandy crisps is nothing like eating regular chips. You feel satisfied, light, and energetic with no crash, bloat, or gross, sluggish feeling afterwards. And because these chips are made with real food, they are more satiating, so you won't find yourself uncontrollably binging and still feeling hungry afterwards. Now, this one right here is my favorite. This is the French onion, but they also come in herbs de Provence and smokehouse barbecue. I love Vandy. You're going to love them. If you love Vandy, then you're going to love Massa chips also. Massa, Vandy's sister company, makes the most delicious 3-ingredient tortilla chips that I have ever tasted. You're going to give these a try. You will not be disappointed. Don't poison your body. Don't put chemicals in you. Don't put seed oils in you. Eat treats that are good for you, made with 3 ingredients. Ready to give Vanda or Massa a try? Use code BELIEVE for a massive 25% off your first order at vandycrisps.com or massachips.com. Don't feel like ordering online? Vanda and Massa are now available nationwide at local supermarkets like Sprouts. Stop by, pick them up, grab a few bags before they're gone, because these are amazing. Now, let me ask you this, because I'm going to talk. I'm not going to be very kind here. And I don't want to be. Sorry, I don't want to be mean or rude or whatever. We had Cezary Oleszejczuk, younger brother to Michal Oleszejczuk, right? Taking on Cesar Almeida, a man that's defeated Alex Pereira in kickboxing, a man that's a kind of a knockout artist, right? And Oleszejczuk, when I watched his fights, dude, the man is exciting. He has got real knockout power. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good one. Oleszejczuk takes him down over and over, lies on top of him for almost the whole time and wasn't doing anything, right? No. And when he watches it back, he's definitely going to have an issue with my commentary. But I'm sorry, right? You're an exciting guy. He showed that he was able to take him down over and over, not unresisted, that's insulting to Almeida, but you could clearly take him down when you wanted to. You've got to open up. You've got to do some damage. You've got to score some points because, yes, okay, getting the win is the most important thing, but people aren't going to want to tune in. People aren't going to want to see your fights, and you might have 3 fights on your contract and might not even get re-signed because it doesn't sound like a true martial artist thing to say, but you've got to be someone that people want to see your fights. You have got to generate hype when people are going to go, whoa, shit, Cezary Oleszejczuk's fighting this weekend. He brings it. Yeah. That affects your card placement. It affects the amount of money you're going to get paid. It's just, I don't know. I let him off the hook because it's his UFC debut, but it's like, you got to bring more to the table, man.
Well, you got to realize at the end of the day, it's still a promotion. It's still entertainment. It's still television and live sporting event that people want to tune into. Now, that being said, you got to do one or the other, right? You at least got to be selling it promotionally and doing that. Well, you're not there yet. You're still young in your contract. And, you're not a guy that's necessarily going to be grabbing the microphone and selling it to the world. So you got to do it in the cage. And there's no problem with that. I have no problem. You could say nothing in preparation and in all the pre-show stuff, and then go out there and put on dynamite fights. Awesome. I don't care. You got to give us one or the other if you want to stay relevant in a live sporting event that people tune in to watch. And the reason it makes money is because of fans. You're right. I agree. And that was a boring ass fight. And again, it's MMA. It's not just wrestling. And I know that there's a lot of purists out there going to be like, well, if you can't get up, listen, I'm okay with the takedowns, but it's a mixed martial arts competition where within the rules that they are fighting in is advancing position and attempts to finish the fight and do damage. If you're not doing that, then you're not really fighting as a mixed martial artist.
No. And if you kind of compare it to boxing, right? This would be how I would compare a fight of that style to a boxing match. It'd be like someone in a boxing ring backing up the entire time, avoiding the fight and just flicking out the odd jab and going, well, I'm winning because I've outlanded.
I'm not getting hit. Yeah.
Because I'm not getting hit and I've flicked a few jabs at him. No one wants to see that boxer compete. He's a very talented guy. And his brother's talented. The pair of them, they're awesome. And what he did was very skillful and very effective and not easy to do against a tough opponent. However, next time he's got to bring it a little bit more. And I say that with as much respect as I can.
And it can be on the ground. It can be on the ground. We're not even saying that you got to do it on the feet. We're not saying that you've got to risk your loss. Elbows, submission attempts, constantly trying to find, okay, you're in half guard. You're just holding him. You're not getting ground and pound going, and you're not getting a submission going. Okay, well, advancing your position will be then to try something new. Go to mount. Go back. Let him get guard. Maybe you can land better there. Maybe go north-south. Maybe try to get a dark setup. Like, you've got to be trying to get different things going. And again, I'm not speaking as, I was more of a striker. I don't like grapplers. I don't mind watching fights that are on the ground that are exciting with ground and pound, submission attempts, scrambles, escapes.
Yeah.
And you could even be dominating it. And guess what? If you're dominating from that position, as dominant as he was for long enough, and you're doing damage, the fight's probably not going to be lasting all that long if you're landing real elbows from top.
Should we see what the highly analytical input is from Mike Harrington? Because,
Absolutely.
This guy knows the sport. He knows it inside out. What was your take on that one, Harrington? Because no doubt, is he even here?
Of course I'm here. Where else would I be, Mr. Bisping?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you do have a little girl. You got Aurora running around.
True.
You might have something going on. She might be pulling at your shirt saying, Daddy, I want this. I need that or whatever. And we're saying, Harrington, for a split second, you're just being a father, which is allowed.
It does happen from time to time. I don't know, man. You landed 14 strikes over the course of 15 minutes in a cage. What are we talking about here? Significant strikes. It's like that should tell you everything you need to know. That's not UFC caliber. And if you're that worried making your debut that you can't open up a little bit and still maintain the win, then it doesn't sound like you're ready for the bright lights and the big names of the UFC.
Yeah.
And that's just a guy from his couch being like, you're third from the top of the main card. What you got to show me a little more.
You're given a great spot, right? That's the other thing too. That early on in your career, you're given that spot for a reason. Like they could have just thrown you early on the prelims if they thought it was going to be a shit fight. But like you, Mike, I think they thought there's the potential for it to be a banger or a big finish.
Dude, he's knocking people out in other promotions. On the Contender, he got a quick knockout. And then when you make your UFC debut, that's what you bring to the table. It's like, yes, successful, mission accomplished. You got 2 checks. You got the win. But it's like, dude, that's not how he fights at his core as a human being, as a fighter. We don't want to go out there and fight like that. We don't dream of that. We don't dream of going, with a bit of luck, I'll take him down and lie on top of him and have chest-to-chest pressure for 15 minutes. No, there's no movies written about guys that do that, right? Rocky was getting the shit kicked. I mean, all right, you know what I'm saying. We've harped on it for long enough.
Trust me, I get you. I get you. And you're right. Nobody sits around going, I can't wait to just, I don't know. I feel like maybe if you're dreaming in a bed in Dagestan somewhere, you might fantasize about that.
Brother,
burn!
Listen to me, right? Here's what's going to happen. You go 1-2 double leg, and then you hold this guy down. This guy can't wrestle. He can't get back up. Brother, easy money. All right. I'm just looking at the notes here to see what he didn't put in, thank God, I mean, obviously there's some travesties going on around the world. We had the shooting at Brown University, which is awful. We had that crazy madness that went down in Australia, right? There's a lot of madness going on in the world. Harrington hasn't put it in, which is good. Well done. Oh, no, you have. Yeah. You have put it in.
Come on.
We're not getting into it. This is a place. This is a bastion of positivity.
It's tough. It's getting tough. It's getting tough to stay positive in this world. There's no doubt about that.
There was a brave hero that saved the day.
I saw that video. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit going on, but we're going to stay away from that stuff because we have enough good stuff to talk about. But real quick, we'll just wrap up that fight discussion. Melquizael Costa, head kick, potentially of the year. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Unreal. That kid's a real problem, man. He's 4-0 in 2025, something like that.
5-5 win streak
against some legit competition. I mean, that was going to be a banger. We thought that was going to be a war with Charrier, and nope. See you later. Head kick.
Is fast.
Yeah,
he just whipped that head kick up, man, and his hand was there. The hand was there, but still didn't matter. Marcus Buchecha, he's got to work on his cardio, man. He's got to work on his cardio.
Yep. Something's got to go on there, man. That was a rough fight to get through. I'll be honest. That was one of those fights. And again, it's tough for me to stay comfortable in one spot for a while. And I came down into the basement where I do the podcast. It's also where I watch the fights and shit. Dude, I was like, my friend was over and I told him after that fight, I said, this is the last fight. You got to go home and I'm going to go lay upstairs and watch the rest of this card because it seems to be trending in that direction.
You kicked your guests out of the house after that fight. You're like, we can't do this.
Thanks, Buchecha. I literally kicked my friend out of my house because I wasn't going to make it the rest of the night because of that fight. Somebody put a good stat out there on Instagram or Twitter or one of them that Walter Walker has no real jiu-jitsu credentials whatsoever leading into his UFC career. He's got how many heel hooks now and is taking these kind of guys down and subbing them. And then you get this jiu-jitsu world champion, 13-time, unfucking real black belt. But it just goes to show you that MMA, jiu-jitsu, and pulling that shit off in the cage is a far cry from what it is to do in a jiu-jitsu competition. This guy's unreal, and he can't take these guys down and sub them.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. The cardio, it doesn't matter how good you are. As soon as you get tired, it's the ultimate equalizer.
Yep.
And he trains at American Top Team with Bahumper and those guys. They know how to get guys ready for a fight. So, and I know Buchecha, he's a really nice guy, but it doesn't matter.
He is a very nice guy. Yeah.
It's not a popularity contest. You got to go out there. He's got to address the cardio issues because that's the main thing. Because even when he had position, and again, I don't want to kick a man while he's down. He got the draw. There was the eye poke. There was the deduction, the point taken.
And I was happy to see that.
Yeah, that was good. Fair play to her.
You saw him toying with it, and he was like, he manned up because we talked about it. You guys talked about the podcast, and that we talked to him, and he said, if it's egregious and it really is a problem and it's really bad, those fingers are extended. It was bad. I mean, he literally went like this and poked him in the eye. And I was like, this is when Bill was still here, my buddy. And I was like, he better take this point right now. And I sat here and I said to him and I brought up the podcast. I brought up that we had him on as a guest and he said that to us. And then when you guys brought it up, I was like, okay, let's see what happens. And he did it.
He did. But you on his face, he went,
I don't think he wanted to, but he knew. And guess what? But it's okay. That one happened. Now that one has happened in a big moment where it's like, everyone's kind of going, is he going to do it? Is he going to do this right now? And he did. So now other referees, I feel, will be more comfortable going, no, watch the replay. It's bad. You stuck your finger straight out. It wasn't an accidental swipe. It wasn't in transition. If you straight up poke somebody from that far out like that, it deserves a point take.
And the power of it is hopefully it sets a precedent.
Yes.
Like I said on the broadcast, that's the whole idea. It's a deterrent. Yeah, no one wants to lose a point. But if it happens enough times, it sends the message to the fighters, bro, don't poke someone in the eye by accident because they're taking points like crazy. Keep those fingers shut.
Keep those fingers shut. That's all it shows you. The only reason that happened was because his fingers were straight out. And again, another guy that I hate to shit on him, hate to kick him while he's down too, coming off a draw. But hey, that was bad.
Yeah. How do you shut a finger?
How do you shut a finger? Is that what I
said? You're going to shut those fingers. And then you said it. It's like shut the fist.
There's a little door there. You got to just close the door.
Shut the fingers. There we go. That's the name of the podcast for today.
Yeah.
Shut the fingers.
We're
doing it. We're going back old school. And then obviously we had King Green on the main card as well. Lance Gibson Jr., the son of Lance Gibson that fought UFC 24-29. I did a bit of training with him back in the day. Lance Gibson Jr. stepped up on a few days' notice. Took on King Green. King
had a good
still
fight.
Got it. Still got the reflexes. Still talking shit.
Still talking shit.
Bro. Still.
He doesn't shut up in there.
Yeah. All right, Harrington and Brian, do you want to jump on? Let's have a little discussion. Let's have a little chit chat. How you doing, boys?
I'm great, man. Absolutely no complaints.
4-box.
The classic 4-box. You know it's going to get deep and heavy.
Oh yeah,
it's the 4-box.
Oh no, what are we bringing up?
No, I don't know.
All right. There's some sketchy things on this list over here.
Yeah. No. Just thought.
And I didn't see it yet, so it's all going to be a surprise.
No. Harrington, in terms of non-MMA, what is going on? I mean, the Jake Paul fight versus Anthony Joshua. We'll talk about that in a bit. But go on.
I had that in the MMA section. Believe it or not,
Harrington has wild takes about this.
I want to hear it.
You're not saying that Jake Paul knocks out Anthony Joshua, just like Mighty Mouse said it. Mighty Mouse is tripping on some crazy bullshit, saying that he's going to have to dance around, pick him apart. If he does that, maybe Anthony Joshua can win. What is he smoking?
I agree, Michael Bisping.
I mean, I've just seen Anthony Joshua get put on his ass by an overhand right a number of times, and Jake Paul has very, very, very little in his game, but what he does have is an overhand right that he throws and throws and throws and doesn't stop throwing. Do I think it's all right? What do I think is more likely? Jake Paul, or what do you think is more likely? Jake Paul to be crippled, to be maimed for life from this fight, or to win by knockout?
So hold on a minute. Just because he knocked out Tyron Woodley, right? And just because he knocked out who else? Ryan Borland, right? And he TKO'd Mike Perry. He didn't knock out Mike Tyson. That's 58 years old, by the way. He didn't knock out Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, right? I don't think
he
there was money to be made.
Diaz. He didn't knock out Anderson Silva.
Yeah,
but he's going to knock out one of the greatest heavyweight boxers
badly. Here's my opinion on this thing, right? Anytime anybody throws an overhand right, I think you're right. Anybody, of course, there is the 2% chance that happens. I think he's training hard. I think he's actually invested in this shit. I think he's, still an idiot most of the time. But I think when he gets hit with a real hard stick or a real 1-2 for the first time from a heavyweight champion, I think he's going to be like, oh, fuck me. And I saw, what's his face went on some podcast, the kid that's always getting in trouble saying that he's getting watched by people. And no, the boxer, what's his name?
Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia was saying that he's hearing from the camp that he's getting absolutely just smashed up by the heavyweights that he brought in.
Jake Paul imagine. Jake Paul's not a heavyweight.
Paul is, yeah. Because he was training with little guys, right? For the tank fight. Then he brought in.
I've got workers here and I've got Ford going crazy. You guys carry on talking.
I'll just keep talking about this.
There's a bunch of Mexican workers out there going, someone going to get this gigantic German check.
Yeah, they're probably terrified.
Crack on, I'll be right back.
Yeah. So that's my thing. I just think when he really, now you've got a legit guy. Now, again, I'm not going to bring up any speculation because we don't want to get sued either from Jake Paul and his team. But, there's always the rumor going around that obviously there's going to be something in the contract that he can't hit him with his full power and he's got to carry him a bit to make it a show. I'm not saying that's true. I don't think that's possible.
In my opinion, and I know nothing of this of fact, but if fucking Anthony Joshua loses to Jake Paul, he's definitely getting paid to lose to Jake Paul.
That's where it's got
my
right.
personal opinion. You know what I mean?
Just think
there's just no way. There's just no way. And if Anthony Joshua doesn't go out there and absolutely smoke him, bro, I've sparred with some big heavyweights, right? And when they throw a shot, you feel it, even when you block it or whatever. Joshua's not your average heavyweight. And yes, Harrington, he might have got knocked out against Daniel Dubois, who's on the verge, who, by the way, went the distance with Alexander Usyk, right? Almost finished Alexander Usyk with an uppercut, but they called it a low shot, right?
Yeah.
He sparked Anthony Joshua. Outside of that, it's Andy Ruiz, and he came back and smoked him. And look what he did to Francis Ngannou and all these other great boxers.
Look at what he did to Francis Ngannou.
So the Francis fight, the only argument I would make with that is Francis tried to fight him at range. He was a lot more hesitant. I think Jake's going to go forward against Joshua. I don't think Joshua likes it when people come forward against him. He likes to be the bigger guy who plays with his range.
He's going to be the bigger guy playing with his range. He is the bigger guy, and he's the much better boxer.
What's the reach? Do we know the reach, too? On there's got to be a pretty
It has to be massive.
Yeah, it's like 84 inch to like 72. Let me just look up Anthony Joshua.
Bro. Now, you got a real boxer who's going to use his jab. He is going to I think he's going to try to just touch him with some jabs early and wait for Jake to have to open up for that big overhand, and he's going to check him with a hook, or he's going to lay down and dip into a fucking straight right that's going to just be a shockwave.
Listen. The best thing that Jake Paul ever did is put it out there that he will sue the pants off anyone that says the fights are fixed. Because guess what? They have the funds to do that, okay? And a lot of the time, it doesn't matter, right? Because you get tied up in a legal situation and you have no choice but to defend the lawsuit, which costs a lot of money. And you got to hire a lawyer, and you got to do this whole song and dance. I've done it multiple times. It's very, very expensive. Both lawsuits that I had to defend were complete bullshit, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if it goes through, then you have to deal with it.
Sue you. Yeah, you have to defend. So now, people like us are choosing our words very carefully, because even though it is probably somewhat, maybe, possibly bullshit, I don't want to have to spend thousands.
Well, that's what we're saying, though. That's what we're saying, and we're dancing around it. Even now, he did a good job. You're right, because even now, I'm saying, well, there may speculation, and people might say, which isn't me. I would never say that, but that similar to what Brian said, right? If he knocks out Jake Paul, if he knocks out Anthony Joshua, or wins some decision, I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah, 100%.
There's no way. Like, unless it's literally, I don't know. He throws a overhand right Hail Mary from the jump and it catches him. But Harrington, how sweet will it be for you if we come back here on a Monday after that fight? Is it this weekend too, right?
Friday.
Friday.
I'll be honest. Jake Paul did a good job here, because guess what? All the other ones, I honestly didn't care. And if I did watch it, it was because it was free on Netflix. I really didn't give a shit. This one, I can't wait.
But it's all well and good, right? If it's a big if, it's a real boxing match, right?
Yes.
And to be fair,
we'll know early, man. You'll know early.
Hold on, Harrington. Eddie Hearn, his promoter, and Eddie Hearn came out and said, categorically, this is a real fight. And this is what made me kind of,
what does that mean?
Okay, fair enough, because he's like, I promote Anthony Joshua. Yeah. And if we're doing a rigged fight, he's one of the biggest boxing promoters on the planet, and he's made a lot of money, and he's got a lot of fights to promote in the future. That would completely tar his legacy. He could end up in prison, right? So you've got to take that certainly with more than a pinch of salt. However, he's had 28 wins, 4 losses. The losses are to Daniel Dubois, Alexander Usyk twice in a row, both by way of decision, and he got clipped by Andy Ruiz. Other than that, he's got 28 wins, with 25 knockouts. He's a gigantic human being. And for Jake Paul to stand there and have all this stuff and having everyone going, what was David versus Goliath? And standing there at the press conference and like trying to get on his tippy toes and making out, hey, look at me, this is hilarious. Yeah, it's hilarious until you're standing in the ring with him and then the gloves are off. And it's, well, they're on. The fingers are shut. It's 10 ounce gloves. It's 10-ounce gloves, and Anthony Joshua's trying to make an example out of you.
Is it 10 ounce for heavyweights too?
10-ounce gloves.
That's disgusting to think that heavyweights are boxing in 10-ounce gloves.
Well, that's fucking rip Jake Paul, I guess.
The lighter weight classes, it's down to they're 8-ounce gloves too. The smaller guys, I think 150 something and below, they fight with 8-ounce gloves. Bro, have you ever put on it? Guy Harrington, Brian, have you ever put on an 8-ounce boxing glove?
No, I think the lowest I've ever put on is a 10-ounce.
It feels like a weapon. And so does a 10-ounce. When you're wrapped up and that shit's all laced tight.
Oh man.
It's a good feeling.
I'll tell you right now, I put on my Bisping brand Santa balls. Those feel like weapons on my hands. That's just me.
Any kind of glove on Harrington's hand is a weapon.
For sure.
I'm a weapon. Well, what I was going to say, Joshua, 36 years old, coming off of a year-long layoff versus a 20-something-year-old kid who has been eat, sleep, and drinking boxing since 2018.
Stop it, please, for the love of God. Listen, yeah, he's worked hard. Yes, he's improved. He's learned how to box and this and that. But he still wings his shots. He's still not technical. He still doesn't understand the finer points of the sweet science. And he has nowhere near the amount of experience. And he's half the size of a human being. Okay.
So, what I was going to say to your point, Joshua needs to be motivated in this fight because he just signed to fight Tyson Fury for a crown jewel of Riyadh. That money is off the table, I would assume, with a loss to Jake Paul, correct?
Well, the thing is this.
Yeah, I think everything's off the table when you lose to Jake. That's where I'm like, if this is fixed, you're blowing all that. That's where I'm like, I think it's legit. I think he's going to get smashed, but I think it's going to be legit because you're right. There's big boxing money on the other side of this now.
Let me ask you this, though, because it's a tricky one for Anthony Joshua as well, because remember when Vitor Belfort fought, who did he fight? The boxer, the old school boxer. Who was it? Who did he fight?
No? He fought Holyfield.
Evander Holyfield. And he was 60 years old or something like that. And Vitor went out and smoked him, right? And I was like, dude, it's an exhibition match against a boxing legend who's a bloody old age pensioner. What are you doing, right? And for Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul, who's much smaller and younger and has the Disney label attached to him, is what does he do? Does he go out there and embarrass him and put him to sleep and then get called a bully? You know what I'm saying? People go, whoa, bro.
Yes, that's the sport. Yes.
Yes.
I hope so.
Murder that dude in the ring.
I hope he's just kind of staying because he's been calm and having fun through all these interviews. But I hope inside he's thinking, oh, motherfucker, you thought hopefully, that's what I'm hoping, though, is his mental.
I'll tell you right now. Here's a good one. Tom Aspinall was talking about boxing this week. And he said he fancies boxing Francis Ngannou, somebody like that, because he's not going to go into professional boxing against a super elite heavyweight at 33 years old because he just wouldn't be competitive. And that's Tom Aspinall saying that. But he'll go up against another MMA guy, right? But somehow Jake Paul's going to do it because he's been training for a bit.
Jake Paul's going to get his fucking ass whooped. Although that would be fun to see is a boxing league for retired MMA guys.
Yeah, it's called
retired in standing. Yeah, but
so
we could probably do something better than that, is what I'm saying.
Well, speaking of which, that's also off this weekend.
What is?
Again, is that the same one? Is that the Anderson one?
Chase Moore versus Andrew Tate is the day after.
When is that? What day?
Saturday.
Oh, I'm streaming that one as well.
Friday and Saturday, we're getting the most golden shit we've gotten in a long time.
Have you guys watched that guy that's fighting?
Chase Moore is a fucking clown.
Holy
Brian, pull up that clip.
Shit. I did one of my little Instagram clips breaking that kid down. I roasted him. He is terrible. I'm sorry.
Brian, did you just say the UFC stops and then straight away we get this golden shit? Is that what you said?
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, it's amazing.
No UFC.
I wish we were doing this for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah. Well, we got plenty to talk about on Saturday.
Look at this clown.
Look at the reaction.
Bro.
Look at the reaction time, man. Come on. My daughter could punch him in the face.
Do that again, Brian. By the way, that was his reaction to a feint.
Yeah, here you go. Oh, one feint. That kid laughed at him. He laughed at him.
Yo, that's Stephen A. Smith level. Like the one punch this way, one punch this way.
Yeah, that's almost as bad as Ronda Rousey's shadow boxing.
I mean, Jesus. I mean, Andrew Tate might actually beat this dude like handily.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason
knock him
why
out in the first round.
This guy's a professional fighter. Harrington, I think you have a shot, man.
Yeah.
Did you see?
I'd train you. We could train you for that, kid.
Hell yeah.
Did you
see Andrew Tate's comment on it?
No, what's he saying? Like, how is he even getting in there? He shouldn't even be fighting. He shouldn't even be fighting this guy.
My Thai boxing coach used to put on this show called Main Event. It was one of the biggest shows in the UK for Thai boxing, and he had Andrew Tate on back in the day. And he says he can fight a bit. He's not bad.
Yeah, he's leaps and bounds. I mean, yeah, Andrew Tate's got legit kickboxing background. You know, maybe he never fought major, huge promotions and things and beat actual like massive guys. I don't really know his full fighting backstory, but I've seen a lot of his videos. He is the best of the best compared to that guy. He is world champion status compared to that guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, just because that guy's big, that's what this Chase Demore. Like, I'm an expert on Chase Demore, but I have seen some content where he's like, bro, I'm twice your size and all this type of stuff, but he can't fight. So
no, he can't fight.
And they've made Tate the CEO of Misfits. So they're not going to bring him in as a CEO and then have him lose his first fight. That's not kind of how you do this.
He got really good head movement.
Yeah, he's just always scares me when I watch him do any training. He keeps his chin. He does move well, and he avoids a lot of those shots. But if you actually fought somebody that's really good at kind of recognizing that, he'd get in trouble. He does way too much of this stuff.
Hey, just switching gears back, because it is an MMA podcast, and we don't talk about and break down influencer boxing too much. Sure. But, you know, it is fun to do so, and I'm going to be very curious to see. I'm just telling you, there's something up if Joshua doesn't flatten him. Talking of boxing, Ilia Topuria says he's only got a couple more fights in MMA, and then he's going to switch over to the boxing world. And did you see this morning? I'm not sure if Harrington put it in the notes. I don't think he did. He's come out and said that he's being blackmailed right now over accusations of domestic violence. Did you see this stuff?
Yeah, I saw that whole statement. It's pretty crazy. And that kind of definitely clarifies why he's taking a back seat to not wanting to fight and get into a training camp when he's dealing with all this. Is this, I'm guessing, his ex-wife is making all these allegations and trying to come for stuff?
Well, we're speculating, of course. Right. And he did say in the statement, I'd rather if you all didn't speculate. So but, you know, I mean, you put it out there on social media. Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to speculate, it's, I would say his ex-wife, soon to be, is saying these things and wants money. Otherwise, she's going to go public. So that's, I mean, you're ever going to be a scientist to work that out, right?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious what it's alluding to. And all the details are obviously not there. And how true any of the crap is that he's getting accused of is innocent till proven guilty. Do you see Bryce Mitchell had a response?
I was going to say, not according to Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah, he's going right out there. He's not speculating. He's pretty sure he knows exactly what's going on.
The thing is,
church.
I will say this for Ilia. If it is absolute bullshit, which we have to assume that it is, of course, he's doing the right thing. Say, okay, cool. I'll call your bluff. Let's get the police involved. Let's make this. This is how you want to play this. You were my wife. And you're going to do this. I can't believe who I'm talking to. Let's get the police involved. I'm going 100% legal on you. Again, we're speculating, and I apologize that we're doing that, but he's doing the right thing here.
If he's innocent, that's the way to do it. Yeah. if you didn't do it, you wouldn't be trying to hide it, right? You'd say, listen, this is what I'm going through. This is what the allegations are. And it's all bullshit. And you got to nip it in the bud that way. Again, who knows, man? It's ugly. And I feel for the kids. I feel for him, the whole family. That sucks to be going through that kind of, it's so Bryce.
I don't think we don't play it. Don't play it. He's saying a lot of, stuff about Ilya calling him bitch and this and that and all that type of stuff. I don't want to play it. But I do want to play a little game with you.
Yeah.
Let's get a 4-box frenzy going on.
4-box frenzy.
We've got a 4-box frenzy on Believe You Me. I came up with a little concept. Obviously, it's the end of the ESPN era. Done and dusted. Paramount, here we come. Saturday night, obviously, we touched on that multiple times throughout the broadcast. And I said something I was talking about. I said, the sport's the same, but the faces are different, right? Since 2019, back then it was Khabib Nurmagomedov. All right, he had a fight on Fight Island. He was still a little in the ESPN era. It was people like Conor McGregor, who, again, is still around. But you know what I mean? A lot of the stars of today, we didn't even know who they were in 2018. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I said, let's play a little game. Who is our favorite fighter from the ESPN era that was not signed with the UFC, now that is a mainstay of mixed martial arts and invades our TVs on pay-per-views or fight nights? And we all have a name. Do we all have a name?
Yeah.
We'll start clockwise. Harrington. In the ESPN era, who is your favorite fighter? And we're going to give you roughly 30 seconds to state your case and state it well. But who is your favorite fighter of the ESPN era?
Okay. Well, I think the biggest change that came over the course of the ESPN tenure was the death of heavyweight was greatly overstated heading into the ESPN era, right? Like, we had Francis Ngannou come and go in the ESPN era, his reign as champion. We had that great back and forth between Stipe and DC. But I think the biggest definer of the heavyweight division through the ESPN era has to be a guy who was supposed to make his debut on the Manchester show right before the pandemic as the first fighter on the prelims. Instead, did not make his debut in his home country until he was headlining a fight night card. I'm going to say Big Tom Aspinall, his rise, what he did, bringing, certainly England and the UK back into the forefront of everyone's mind as far as MMA powerhouses go, but also just making the heavyweight division super exciting with that low octagon time that he has and his incredible record.
New rule to the game. We all get one comment. So, Brian, what's your comment to that? We have to state the fighter, state the case, and then we all get one comment. And Harrington's not allowed to respond to it.
Make heavyweight great again. I'm all with it.
Paul?
I went with Alex.
No. What's your comment to Harrington's pick?
Oh, sorry. I was going to my guy. Yeah, no, I agree. He's definitely a guy that came in and kind of shook up the heavyweight division. And then we had a lot of controversy, obviously, over the years. It's been a lot of storylines for a long time now in waiting. And then even still continues to this day where we're still waiting for this rematch between him and Cyril Gane.
This is going to be my comment. And it doesn't have to be about the fighter particularly. This is aimed at you, Harrington, and I apologize. Like you blew it straight away by saying the heavyweight division. I knew you were going to pick Tom Aspinall. Like, you were trying to build this to this crescendo. It's like, who else is it going to be? You know what I mean? But still, solid pick.
Also on my list, Galton Almeida could have been him.
Hey, fair enough.
Well, signed to the UFC in October 2020. We have the future three division champ. First of all time is Ilia Topuria, I think.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
No, of course, Ilia is like one of the biggest stars in the sport.
Dude, all you really had to do is look at the champions right now, minus a few, and you're going to see a lot of guys that were definitely ESPN era, right? I mean,
he literally stole all of Conor McGregor's swag, got rid of all the controversy, and then just fucking won.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at the champs, Joshua Van, new.
Yep.
Piotr Jan, he was around. Volkanovski, he was around. Ilya, new. Islam,
He was around.
Hamza, Fight Island debut.
New.
Alex Pereira, new.
That's in that generation, yeah, for sure.
Tom Aspinall, Shevchenko, Dern.
Shevchenko is old.
Yeah, old, but Dern's new.
I mean, not old. Shevchenko's.
Wow.
I meant old.
Jones.
I meant old in terms of been around.
Shevchenko's old. Wow.
I didn't mean it. I
talked to Valentina after her fight. I told her that we almost thought about naming our daughter Valentina, and that she was a big part of the inspiration. Bro, she gave me a hug. She knows I would never. She knows I would never call her old. No, we love
Brian edited out the part where you said old and wrinkly.
I did.
Oh, I edited out all the shit you guys were talking about 2 seconds ago.
It was disrespectful, and I do apologize.
Paul, who was your pick for your favorite fighter of the ESPN era?
Alex Pereira.
Had to be.
I mean, you talk about a guy that came in and kind of took over that new dangerous striker role, knocking people out, just had an aura about him. That a guy that doesn't talk shit, but this just stoic, epic stare downs that he brings, his whole bow and arrow when he's on his way. He promotes himself by purely being himself, and people freaking love that guy. And he stepped up big time for the company multiple times, and he's still our champion. He's a G. I think he's one of the best additions that we got in that ESPN / post-pandemic era.
Without a doubt. Of course, Pereira is on top of the sport. And you know who this one is because I said it in the chat as a little inspiration. But I'll tell you why this guy's my favorite, because he's unique. In this modern era where the sport is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and more people are participating and aspiring to be fighters, and more people are fans and they're watching it, a lot of times now, the specialists are gone. You know what I mean? Back in the day, it was a boxer versus a wrestler or whatever. The specialists are gone, right? Everyone kind of follows the same formula in their training camps. People have okay striking, okay jiu-jitsu, okay wrestling. You know what I mean? They get good conditioning and they go out there and they fight their asses off and they're very entertaining, right? So there's very few specialists. Yuri Prochazka stands out there on an island as a guy that is unique in every way, sense, and shape and form. The man's unique. He's a samurai from the Czech Republic, right? Made his debut in Abu Dhabi at Fight Island, July 12th, UFC 251. The man is a maniac in the best way possible. I love the way he fights. I love the haircut. I love the thing that had sticking up at the back. I love the fact that he looks like a video game, that he just button mashing. He's a knockout artist. He's super technical. There's not another Yuri Prochazka, and I don't know if there ever will be another one. I love the way he fights. I love the way he carries himself. Yuri Prochazka, that would be my vote.
Yuri Prochazka.
Look at what he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who does this? And his wife is like right next to him, by the way.
Yeah.
I was nervous watching this.
So was I. I thought the same thing. This is a gender reveal for those that don't know, in the most Yuri Prochazka way possible. So what is that? Is he having a girl?
Look, and she's right there, and I'm waiting for him to just upslice. He's waiting.
One blue, one pink.
Off with the head.
And then pink for the final one, I believe.
So it's a girl, right?
So it's a girl. 2 pinks. There you go. Imagine you're dating a girl.
Or he's having triplets.
No, that's what I thought. You're dating a girl in the Czech Republic. And you go home and the dad's Yuri Prochazka.
That's the dad. You've got to meditate with him and shit. He's got to take you to the woods for a man journey.
Man, that's a rom-com.
I saw a funny video where it was like how MMA doesn't add up. It just doesn't make any sense. It was this guy just saying MMA doesn't make any sense. And it's like this guy, and it was Khalil Roundtree in Thailand, fucking ripping pads, beautiful technique, doing everything right, looking like an absolute killer, is like got knocked out by this guy. Yuri's on a treadmill with like a sword or something, walking backwards on the treadmill, doing like
blindfolded
katas, blind. Yeah, and then they show him doing his thing where he tapes his mouth and his nose, and he's like doing sprints at the PI. They're like, yeah, that guy knocked out this guy.
Yeah,
MMA doesn't make sense. So true.
It's great, and then I guess the exciting thing is, 7 years from now, when it's the end of the Paramount deal. We'll be talking, hopefully we're still doing this podcast. We'll be talking about a whole new generation of people. It's cool, man.
I'll have had another hip replacement probably by then. And things will be good.
A whole new
7
generation
years,
of Bisping's.
I will be 53. Wow. That's a depressing
53.
Nah, I don't think about it. It'll be fine.
It's fine. Oh, dear. All right. Should we wrap up some MMA? Oh, you know what? Let's do an interview. We did some pre-records, so we did speak to Manel Kape. We got a lot more fun segments to go through, so don't go anywhere. But here is Manel Kape from earlier today. We were just talking some very boring stuff about Paul Felder being old and broken and needing surgery because he's just had a hip replacement.
He don't look old. He don't look old.
Thanks, Manel. Thanks. My body feels old. I may not look old. My body feels old.
This might be you one day, Manel. You might be like us, sitting here, broken, multiple surgeries. But hey, titles, stories, money in the bank. You know what I mean? Yes. How you doing, Manel? How's everything?
I'm very good. I'm happy. Everything went smooth.
Yeah, I'll say you just knocked out Brandon Royval, a man that's very hard to finish, a man that was ranked number 2 in the division. You went out there, you took your time, you picked your shots and finished him in the first round. I mean, it was a flawless victory.
Yes. It was. I think right the moment when I stepped to the cage, I looked to him. I feel his energy, and inside I knew he's gonna be some. He's gonna be quick. I can feel his aura. I draw his energy. And that's what I felt, you feel the same, and I just saw that I don't need to do too much, I don't need to do too much, just see his range, and then I knew it will come, And
Manel, obviously flyweight just got a whole lot more interesting with you getting that big knockout, with Joshua Van getting the title over Pantoja, with him being out potentially for a long time. Obviously, you went and did it a whole lot better than Joshua Van did when he fought Royval. I know you've put some stuff out there that you want to fight him. Obviously, that's where you are. You should have been fighting Royval Royval way back, and you were injured for that fight. So tell me, where are your thoughts on this? I think he responded and kind of said that he's down for the fight. Where do you think you sit right now and potentially getting that next shot at the title?
No, like I say, it was a gift to him, and he took the opportunity in July when I get the injury. Other than that, he will not face anyone on top 5. I'm just being honest. They call him. He did the job. He did very well. Like I say, I didn't see that he beat Joshua Van in that fight. I probably believe that he took the show in the last moment with the knocking down Brandon Royval, but statistics, Brandon Royval was beating him, in terms of numbers. And you win, congratulations. He fought Pantoja, he win, he's legit as a champion. Pantoja make a technical mistake, he stand his arm, in jiu-jitsu we roll, we know he never stand. It's the first things we learn. For we know broke the hand or the whatever, he make a mistake, he stand his arm, he broke. The guy is a champion, he's a champion. We didn't fight the better man in that night because they didn't fight, but he's a champion, he's a legit champion. So right now, me, just make Brandon Royval look easy. The guy that went toe to toe to him, the guy that beat Staito Arasura, he beat Moreno. And I have the best argument. I have the best narrative. I have the best story. Like there is no denial. The way I did last night, and the way I say that I'm gonna do, he just spoke with himself. I should not even explain myself, you know?
Yeah. No, listen, I fully agree. I mean, you are there. And one would think it has to be you next, certainly based on merit, right? However, are you a little bit concerned that you might have to wait? Because we already see Pantoja. He's training again. I mean, he's in a sling, but he's already training. So you got to think they would probably do the rematch first. Or do you think you versus Van, you think that could happen soon?
I think me and Van is a more interesting fighter, interesting fight for the fans. It's more interesting fight to start 2026 with this new deal. Is the best way to start. You know, I have the style that brought the attention for this division. You know, because let's be honest, if it was not me, this division was gonna be dead. You know, and Pantoja.
Well, Henry Cejudo might have something to say about that, but
yes. Henry Cejudo is the guardian, the savior. You know, Henry Cejudo is the savior. We have to say thank you to him to what he did. You know, he saved this division. But in terms of the watching, the pleasure, to the beautiful, the art, I think I bring all this. You know, so. Nothing. I don't take any credit for Henry Cejudo. For me, is one of the greatest fighters in the world. You know what he accomplished. It's amazing. You know, I'm just speak about what the fans want, what this new deal, you know, to brought to the TV, and to new fans want to watch. You know, they want explosive. You know, they want to see somebody sleep. You know, they want to see the chaos. You know, so. UFC have the best argument, you know, to show them that's the guy in flyweight division. You know, like you guys want to see Alex Pereira knock him out people in heavyweight, like, right? So that's what I'm doing in the flyweight division.
Yeah, and Manel obviously took almost no damage in your fight, and same with Joshua Van, right? It was over before it really even got started. With that being said, both you guys very healthy, very able and seemingly willing to jump right in there. How soon would you like to kind of make that happen? We're talking about the new deal, 2026 on Paramount. Are there any particular dates or times that you guys are both interested in?
Look, if they give me the fight to fight in January, I'll fight in January.
Yeah,
that's how soon I want. You know, because let's be real. Joshua Van can't have too much attached with this belt, can't have this feeling, you know, because it's going to break his heart, you know, it's going to break his heart. The less he stay with the belt, the less it's better for him.
I've just had a thought, and this is to Paul as well, because, you know, now the UFC is not going to be on pay-per-view.
Yeah, so that could headline a number of fights.
This could be a fight night, so you don't have to wait for a pay-per-view necessarily now, because it's all going to be free on Paramount Plus. So would you be open to doing that? Maybe in February, maybe in March,
of course, I'm open
somewhere and having the fight quickly.
The most important for me is not, they call fight night, right? They call fight night. They call Paramount Plus. Doesn't matter to me. The fans going to be there. That's what I want. I like to fight in front of the fans, in front of the big guys, because many of them, they feel the pressure. I don't feel the pressure. This is what I want. You know, this is what I've been asking. That's where I perform as well. That's when my performance is, that's what I open myself, you know, when they are the light, you know, when they are the fans watching, the noises, everything. Because I know they're not gonna handle the pressure. Because I know this atmosphere is gonna drag the energy. And it's gonna pump my energy. That's what I love. So it doesn't matter if we fight night or no. It doesn't matter is the fight for the belt. That's the most important thing. You know.
Yeah.
And if you do get that fight coming up next with Joshua Van Manel, what about his style do you think you can really take advantage of? Both you guys obviously known for your striking. I'd say if I'm leaning on knockout power, right, that's obviously leaning towards you. But how do you think that fight goes down?
Let's be real. Let's be real. It's not a big hockey. Joshua Van only have boxing. You know, he only have the boxing, and how many knockouts he had. You know, how many knockouts I have.
I don't know.
Not many.
I'd have to look.
No,
but I know you. I know you.
Not as many as you. No. Yeah.
No, not many. You know what I mean. So I'm faster than him. I'm powerful than him. I have all the source what I can use against him. You know, I have a bunch of submissions. I have my kicks. You know, I'm just a full complete fighter. You know, I'm a full complete fighter, and he's just have the boxing, and he's a straight away. You know, he's a fighter that fights straight away. You know, he eats it. He's gonna be my punch bag. You know, fighting against John Silva, he's gonna be my punch bag. It's like I think I believe for this fight I just have to have the bag and training and punch the bag. That's the fight gonna be. You know,
and for you, Manel, you're also a much bigger star because I saw a thing yesterday. You're the second most famous person in Portugal after Cristiano Ronaldo.
I mess with the guys, you know. I like to mess with it they had, you know. So they start to know, you know. That's the most thing.
But if you go back to Portugal, do you got a large following there?
Yes, of course. It's, I grew up there.
Yeah.
So I have a big fan base there. You know, it's amazing.
What about Ronaldo?
No, Ronaldo is extremely, you know.
Ronaldo, no. But do you know Ronaldo? Or you guys have you met him?
No, I don't know him personally. I know people that know him, friendly, and I saw one time interact, but no personally.
He's in the MMA world now. He's promoting with Ilya Taporia.
Yeah, I saw. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. No, that's beautiful.
Well, maybe you win that belt and those things will change. You'll be hanging out with him, doing tours around Portugal.
Yeah, like I have to be natural. I don't force any friendships doing.
That's it.
No. You just force your fist through people's faces. I mean, it is unreal. I said on the broadcast, you said it on the microphone, I'm the hardest hitter in this division. And I said it, I'm like, you have got real knockout power at 125 pounds, which, you know, respectfully to the division, it is rare to have that kind of power. Is that something that you've worked on over your career, or is it just something you were born with?
You're born in this, and then you upgrade, you know.
Yeah.
You upgrade and you know, I work a lot.
Refine it.
Of course, a lot. But people don't understand this about the timing, you know. The KO coming with the timing, the right timing. So you have to use a lot of your eyes and step well in feet on the floor, you know, to have that kind of power to connect very well. That's why the floor was so slippery, and I was a little bit concerned if I couldn't knock him out, this guy. That's why I always go back there to put my feet and imitate me. He did the same as me, you know. He go there and put his feet on water, you know.
Yeah.
It was very slippery, you know. So, but it's about the timing. I knew the movements is like in jiu-jitsu. Everybody knows that if you sweep your hips or armbar, you know the positions. Who get there first is the win, you know. Who get there first is gonna win. It's same on standing. I knew the position first than him. I think first than him. So that's why I connected the punch first, you know. I knew the position, you know.
And Manel, we were talking about obviously 2026 coming up. We got a whole new TV deal, and like Michael kind of mentioned too, where there's no real pay-per-view. It's just going to be numbered events moving forward. But that means contracts for you guys, especially for champions, gets different. The pay-per-view buys might go away. But from what I'm hearing, obviously the money is flowing a little bit more guaranteed for guys that are champions and fighting for those belts. So is that something, do you have a contract with a lot of fights on it, or did you work a new deal for this? How are you feeling about where you're sitting just in your career and contract-wise as well?
Like what I say, I cannot complain. Even right now, I cannot complain. And I truly believe my next fight is going to be a new contract, you know. And I'm happy. I'm happy with what I'm making. And I'm going to be more happy for what I'm going to make, you know. I'm going to be more happy. And that's the investment UFC have to make, you know, to motivate me, you know, to motivate me more so I can bring more these kind of shows because, you know, the more money, the more motivation I get, you know.
Hey, that's right.
One thing is interesting. I don't get lazy because I knew many people when they started making money, they get lazy. You know, they get lazy. They stop training as much as they training. New bad.
Really? You think that? Because for me, Manel, when I started to make a little bit of money, it's like, I've got a taste of this. I want more. I don't want this to go away. I upped the intensity.
But me and you, we share the same concept, the same mental. You know, sure. I know. I'm talking about by not my experience, but the experience what I saw on people.
Yeah.
You know, the fighters, some fighters that I advise. You know, I don't like to give my advice to anyone, but some people that I know close to me, and you know, these name of the fighters, they get lazy, and they right now in some almost lose their job because they starting investing their comfort, you know.
Yeah.
And when you start sleeping a nice bed, different that you sleep before, you know, it's getting difficult to get up from the bed, you know. Go to training, go to do the things what you never before don't do, you know, the basic things. People start to skip this basic. Me no, bro. I love to make money, and I grew up. I don't say that I grew up with money, but I grew up with business people around me and good advisors, people that always, you know, that's the things not go ahead to my head because. I know where I come from, where I go, and I know how to use this tool for my good thing and for my investment, for my comfort. But when it's time to training, always I go to training. You know.
Sure. We'll leave you on this question here. Do you know what I love about you, Manel? Obviously the knockouts and all the rest of it, but I love the attitude. I love the spirit. I love on the microphone. You owned it Saturday night. You were calling out, "Man, I'm your daddy" and all that shit. I loved it with Israel Adesanya. You were getting into a fight with Izzy. Like, I love that side of you. Now, with all of that said, what the hell went down with Mo Makhachev in Manchester last year?
Like, we are talking about a man that is in the League C, you know. We even should not talking about his name. It doesn't matter because he's right now regret, you know, for his attitudes, and he deserved what he had, you know. You see very well the fight. You see how the fight is going. He was scary to tap. He was scary to tap. That's why he grabbed my shorts. And the position was
very grab tight. The shorts.
No, the position was very tight. You know, they say that the future is writing, but one thing I say about him is that he changed his destiny. He was the first man he changed his destiny, you know, because if he didn't grab that short, I would take that leg, you know, and it was very intentional. And we knew that he had the injury in that leg. That's why he knew when I'm going to the ground, I'm going to knee bar that leg. But unfortunately, people say whatever they want. You know, he keep talking, whatever he want. Deeply inside, we are a human being. As a fighter, we know the truth. You know, we know when we win. We know if you are scared or no. And he's just a scary little boy. Let him in a League C. You know, make his noise because we know what he want. He want to be here, but like. It's not how we start, it's how we end, and right now he's probably with regard to that. So I don't have nothing to say.
I thought you were going to say a bit more shit there because didn't he punch you in the face outside the hotel? I thought you were going to go.
Yeah, that's harder. What. Listen. That's about his personality. That's what I'm saying. He's a fake person. It's like I beat defeat in this sport. I've been defeated in this sport. I lose the fighters, you know, but I win fights, you know.
Yep.
When I win, I win. I let it go. You know, when I lose, I lose. I'm not talking about to anyone. I don't try to make a name to anyone to come to the sport, to anything. I do things by my own, you know. Some fighters are made by other fighters. Me, no. Even if I beat someone that was already in UFC, like Yamakalo, and I beat him, I was in a rising camp from, I didn't even talking about him, you know, because I don't want that... Like, hey, I beat one UFC fighter because I have... No, I did by myself. And what I'm saying is, the explanation is, it's so fake. he's so fake person. Because he give an interview, he say that he didn't watch Islam Makhachev and Poirier fight, right? He say that. So, but he always on Twitter comment about the fighters from these bumps, in our divisions. People that guys even nobody pay attention. He saw good luck to the fighters he beat. He say, yeah, this congratulations. But he say to his own people, to idol of his own country, the Dagestan, he say that he didn't even watch Islam Makhachev. This is the personality. So he's creating a hate between them. He's creating a hate between them. Imagine he's a champion, and imagine someone kid like him. He say, I didn't watch Makhachev fight.
Yeah. No, I get it. I understand what you're saying.
So imagine that stuff. So the thing is, I say to him, you are a fake person. You are a fake person. He came to me and he said, Salam alaikum. You're right. So when you say this to someone as a Muslim, you put your hands down. When he says Salam alaikum, he come to say, hey, Manel, let's take a picture with me. Let's take a picture. You'll say, okay. He says, Salam alaikum, you want to take a picture? You want to make peace? Okay, kid. And then he punched my face. He grabbed and then he punched my face. What kind of person is that? He's a rat. He's the kind of behavior what Dana and other people saw, that we don't want this bad apple here in our company, and they kick it out. When I see him first time in PI, when I see him first time in the PI, I say to him, "You've been talking a lot of shit in Twitter, because who started this was him. Who started him was him, was not me." He say that they want to fight me. I say, okay, you want to fight me? Okay, let's fight. Let's talk. Like, he was talking. I wasn't even talking. He was talking Twitter. Okay, let's fight. For that, it's okay. Promote, it's okay. But the moment he say, when I see you in the street, I'm gonna slap your face. And then I say, what? Kid, watch your mouth, because now you are talking to a man. When I see him in a PI, the first thing I say, hey, hands up. Now we're gonna fight. I didn't say normally. Well, I didn't say to him like, let's take a picture. I say hands up, and then I fuck him out. That's why he knew he cannot fight with me man to man. That's why he have to use these tricky things. Now take picture, saying this, because it's a fake person. If you talk about your man of your country, the idol, that you don't watch this man, you are creating a rivalry. You are creating hate from the other kids that's gonna grow up and not gonna do the same thing what I do. I'm a man. I'm different than him. I'm a man. I'm true to my word. That's why I'm here in this company. And he was kicking me.
Well, you are a man. You are a star. You are the star boy. You are the number one contender. And that was a hell of a knockout at the weekend. Manel, we got to say thank you very much for your time here today.
You're welcome.
Love watching you fight. Love calling your fights. You always bring the excitement. Can't wait for the next one. All the best. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the downtime. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Manel. Appreciate you, man.
Good.
Let's go. Of course, there it is. Manel Kape is the man. Brian, because just so you know, everyone, we're like, okay, so we're coming back from the pre-record. What do we come back with? What topic? This is behind the scenes. We're pulling back the curtain. But Brian said, you said,
yeah, well,
Brian said you have an apology to make to Harrington. Why?
Turns out that raccoon video that you pulled up last week, where I was like, this is bullshit, get this off my screen. Turns out Washington Post also reported on it. It might actually be a real video of a raccoon breaking into a liquor store and getting hammered drunk.
Well, they said that this same raccoon was likely also filmed breaking into the DMV and one other business, which is in that same little mini strip mall or whatever, right? So like the raccoon was just going from place to place, I guess, breaking in through the roof. And then when he got to the liquor store, he was chilling, dude.
Do we have a video?
Yeah, so I guess we're just going back to the video because I immediately shut it off and was like, fuck this. But apparently this is a real video, not AI generated at all, which
I love that he takes a nap
in the bathroom. He locked himself in the bathroom to go get wild.
This is the thing with AI, because and we had this conversation last week, right? So I don't want to repeat myself, but I was talking to someone at the weekend, and he's a movie producer. And we got talking about AI. And he said, yeah, I mean, the way it is with AI, he said that he needed a line from Al Pacino. He did a movie with Al Pacino, and he needed a line from Al Pacino. And he said, we could just use AI. And he's like, no, I ain't doing that. I'm Al Pacino. Okay. You're not doing AI. Right. And then they just got the AI to do it just to be on the safe side. Just say, here's kind of like how we want it delivered. And apparently they bring Al Pacino in, and like, that's what the AI did it. And they were like, fuck it, use the AI. They did a great job.
That's so funny.
Yeah. That is the future.
No, I hate it.
It will be useless.
We will be apparently
our own technology.
People online say that we're all going to be way richer because of AI. I don't get that part. I don't see how that works at all.
No, we won't be, but whoever owns the AI company will be.
No, we won't be richer. We won't be richer. I'll tell you who will be. People like these guys outside in my house, right? Working. AI can't do that shit. They're going to get more and more valuable. Guys that know how to work and use their hands. Brian, you're looking concerned.
You're fine.
Yeah, South Park did a whole episode on plumbers who eventually became Bezos and Musk and started a space race.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. It's like the whole thing is just, you need a handyman, and it becomes like a handyman arms race between the two handymen in South Park.
Harrington put this in the notes. I haven't seen this, but last night I went on a bit of down a rabbit hole with videos of Darren Till. And number 6, Darren Till's in the notes here. But I saw a video that someone posted on Twitter, and it was Darren Till during the pandemic coming out of a gas station, and he didn't have a mask on. So the police pulled him over for not having a mask on. And he's on an Instagram live, and he is just going off at the cop.
I remember we covered it on the show.
Did we?
At the time, yeah, because it was he's literally just in the car on his phone, and you see the cop, and he's like, "What a
so you put Darren Till in here anyway. I just wanted to preface it with, what is this video? What's he saying here?
So this is, I believe it's either a tweet or an article, but he wants in 2026, his plan, like Paul was saying earlier, like to stay in the boxing world with Misfits. He wants to call it a bunch of other MMA guys, said that he sees rematches with either Masvidal or Woodley as like very promising things that he'd be very interested in. But he said the biggest name he'd like to fight in 2026 is Nate Diaz. So any three of those in Misfits would be good fights as far as Darren Till is concerned.
Well, do you see Diaz was calling out Paddy Pimblett last week?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, he only calls for I'll give him credit. He goes big.
Yeah. But then, because I did a video on it on my YouTube channel, so I don't want to repeat myself in case people watch both, but I went off on a tangent because, it's meant to be Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler at the White House. The fight they should put on at the White House is Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 3. No offense to Michael Chandler, but what would you rather watch?
No, I feel bad for Michael Chandler because of how long this fight has been just dangled in front of him. But yeah, I'd much rather see Conor and Nate 3. Both have really been away from MMA for a long time as well. It makes complete sense for Conor to come. You get to go and really seal the deal on that one. You're 1-1. Seal it.
Yep.
Yeah,
number 10, we got a couple more of these, and then we got an interview with Steven Asplund from the weekend to finish off the show. Joaquin Buckley calls out Shavkat Rakhmonov. There's a video here, Brian. Number 10 says no one in the 170 or welterweight division is willing to go toe-to-toe with him.
Since I've been in the UFC, man, since 2020, I've been grinding on my own. I've been figuring it out. I've been writing out the blueprint. A lot of people didn't believe it when they seen it, but I knew this was destined. I knew this was going to come into fruition because I believed in God. God is my substance. God that gave me everything, and he provided me with everything. All these other dudes, man, they get everything around them given to them. I had to take everything that I had to build for, brick by brick, straight from the dirt, straight from the mud. That's why these boys not gonna beat me. And I don't care about that Usman fight. That man had to hold me down. But don't nobody want to fight with me toe to toe. And Shad Kai, I heard you chirping, I heard you talking about black boy. I'm gonna show you that then, boy. I'm gonna show you where the fuck we come from. How long that we been struggling, how long we been deprived, but how long we still get up every single time we get knocked down and we run shit over. I'm gonna fuck you up and anybody else that want it. See, Shad Kai, if you don't sign the motherfucker, somebody else gonna die. And I promise you that, dog. I'm burying everybody in the UFC and I ain't playing.
Oh, I'm fired up.
I like it. I like
it a lot. We've talked about the welterweight division and who's going to be next, and Islam's kind of calling out Usman and saying that makes the most sense. And a lot of people are like going, "What are you talking about? Ian Gary should be next." But Shavkat did beat Ian Gary. Shavkat has been out for a while. Should Shavkat have a tune-up fight first, a comeback fight, and should that be against Joaquin Buckley?
I think he should. And I've said this before that I just don't like a guy comes off a long layoff like that with a major knee surgery and you just throw him right into a big situation and a big title fight. Buckley's in the rankings. I don't care who it is. I mean, sure, if you guys got beef, you guys have talked shit before, sign it up. Buckley wants it. I don't know if Buckley's necessarily going to get that just because of where they're both at in the rankings. What's Buckley at right now? He's in the top 10.
He is. Hold on.
Buckley's number 10 right now.
He's number 10. And Shavkat's what? Number 3 or 4?
3.
Yeah, that's a big jump. I don't know if Shavkat's going to want to come back. He's probably going to want to come back and be in another situation that puts him pretty much as number 1 contender if he has to take another fight.
Well, apparently, Michael Morales claims at number 12 in the notes, well done, Harrington, that he was offered a fight with Jack Della Maddalena in June.
I like that too. These guys got to fight, right? They know they're probably not next in line. I like that he's not waiting around and being concerned with not taking another fight. This is an opportunity to go and fight a former champ. And Jack, you get that win, I mean, you're probably sitting ahead of the line.
Let's have a listen. Is this an interview?
Es Jack de la Magdalena. A lo mejor sea con él. Estamos esperando que sea con él. Simplemente me avisaron que se puede dar una pelea. Se puede dar el 14 de junio o por alrededor de junio. Y pues nada, simplemente prepararse para la pelea y estar listo siempre.
¿Te ves levantando ese cinturón de campeón del mundo?
June 14th? Would that be White House?
That would be the White House card.
It's a big fight.
It is a big fight. It is a big fight. All right, then. Well, I think we covered a fair bit there, Paul.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Good stuff. Plus 2 interviews.
The time has flown by. Should we throw to an interview? Because you were having, Paul was going to be on, but you had a little bit of computer trouble.
Technical difficulties. Yeah, I let the computer completely die down here in the basement uncharged. And then when I went to plug it in, I couldn't use my adapters. It had to be plugged right in. Anyway, we're here now.
Well, you are here now, but I was here earlier. And here is me earlier with the victorious Steven Asplund. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by the one, the only, I don't think you have a nickname, Steven Asplund, the winner of the fight of the night, the winner of a back and forth war, big fight, UFC debut against Sean Sharaf at the weekend at the Apex. Sean, holy shit. What a war, man.
Thank you, Mike. That was quite the introduction. Man, I'm so grateful I got to be able to do that on my debut. You know, Sean was a super worthy dance partner, and I'm just excited, grateful.
Dude, I mean, I don't know where to start with you because your story is incredible. But obviously, you came on the Contender Series. You went up against Anthony Guarascio. I think I'm pronouncing that right. You stop him in the first round. You get your UFC contract. You go up against Sean Sharaf. Back and forth war. I mean, the blood was bloody everywhere. It was, you got it all over my shirt. It was all over my notes. Dude, I'll send you the dry cleaning bill.
Please do.
We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, but just real quick, just give me your emotions going through that fight, how it all played out.
You know, we spoke for a little bit beforehand, and I'm super emotional. You know, I wear my heart on my sleeve, especially going into these fights. And beforehand, I was peaks and valleys. I feel like a lot of fighters don't talk about it, but, you know, I feel like I'm unbeatable one moment, and then the next, I'm afraid to get knocked the fuck out in front of everybody. That being said, it's just about honing that shit and making me sharper with my emotions, and I make sure that I take control of them. They don't take control of me. During the fight, everything kind of dissipated. He hit me with a couple of bombs, and I was just like, okay, fuck, all right, lock in. Like, let's work on the head movement a little bit more and cover up and make sure we're picking them apart. I knew that if I could just stay in the pocket and land consistently, he's not very good at fighting off of his back foot. And anytime I let off the gas was the only opportunity he had to, gather something. So.
Yeah. Well, listen, mate, it was an unbelievable performance. What a way to make a debut. You rocked it on the microphone as well. Obviously, the people watching the show, they're not privy to the fighter meetings. And a lot of what we say in the fighter meetings or what you say, the fighters, it stays personal and private, certainly when we talk about game plans and stuff. But just talking to you, I was so inspired, man, because you really do wear your heart on your sleeve. Life hasn't been easy for you. But let's start with this. At one point, you weighed 500 pounds.
Yeah, fat boy season, man. No, I graduated high school probably like 450, 475. I mean, I didn't graduate, I dropped out. But I finished my high school tenure with some heavy weight on my back. I think the highest documented was 497, and I didn't go to a doctor for over a year after that. I was working at a local pizza joint, delivering pies and eating a large deep dish a day at least. Maybe a sub in there on top of an extra salad, just be, real fat guy shit. And I got there and I just kind of came to a realization like, man, I'm not doing anything with my life. I'm killing myself, and something's got to give. So I started smoking weed pretty heavily when I moved out of my parents' house. They were beating my ass anytime they saw me smoking. So I had to get out of there. And then I started having some pretty severe anxiety attacks because of it. And I just remember.
Sorry, because of the weed or because of the weight?
The weed mainly. I mean, I was an anxious kid growing up all the time, just freaking out about little shit. I've always been an athlete, playing basketball, football. I wrestled from like 7th to 9th grade. And yeah, I mean, I remember I was working at Xfinity, middle of December, it's 22 degrees, and I'm, sweating like a stuck pig in a 63-degree heated area. And I run to the bathroom, I lift up my shirt, and I took a photo. I was like, fucking ick, dude. Like, we're going to get this done. It didn't happen that night, but, we got it done. Or got the journey started at least.
Yeah. I mean, I told you on the fighter meetings, I had a similar thing because when I used to work at this factory, and everyone would call me a fat bastard all the time. And I was like, I'm not fat, I'm big. And then one day we never had a shower at the house. We only had a bathtub, and we had this mirror right opposite the bathtub. And I'm getting out the bath, and I've got to lean over to pull the plug out. Right. And then I look to the side, and I can see my own reflection in the mirror. I'm like, those sons of bitches, they're right. I'm not big. I am a fat bastard. And then that's when I started getting myself back in shape. So you've obviously dropped a lot of weight now. What are you weighing at? 261?
Yeah, 261 is what I weighed in at. I walk between like 250, 260. It's winter right now up here. I'm trying to fatten up a little bit more. I'm cold as hell, man.
You're going right back to 500.
Yeah, they brought back the steak, egg, and cheese bagel at McDonald's, so it's a possibility this season.
Yeah, but you were saying, because obviously, the skin gets stretched, right? So you've got some loose skin, and you addressed that, and you talked about it. You said, I'm proud of that. And I really commend you for that, because that takes a lot of bravery. But just talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's like, I didn't want to take off my shirt, swimming from the age of 11 to, I mean, even currently. And the only reason I have some confidence is because it's like, dude, now I fight in front of the fucking world. What, I'm not going to swim shirtless. And it's, it's war scars to me. It's another reminder of like how hard I worked to get here. It hasn't been easy. I took intermittent fasting. I'm a huge soda and pastries guy, man. I love sweets and cookies and shit. So I cut all that shit out for quite some time, started weightlifting all crazy. And, playing basketball consistently in like over a year and a half, I dropped almost 180 pounds. And it's just, the more I see the loose skin, it's just like, man, fuck, I can see muscle under it. I'm not super displeased with the way I look. I know I got a lot of people talking shit online, but I ain't tripping, man. Nobody understands the hard work that it took to get here, or even what I'm doing now, so, say what you want, but sticks and stones, baby.
Hey, first of all, Steven, anyone that takes the time out of their day to go online to leave a negative post because someone A has lost a ton of weight, got in shape, signed with the UFC, is victorious, wins a fight, gets a bonus, and then they're of the mindset to go online and talk shit, it's more a problem with them. I don't need to tell you that. You don't sound like someone that's going to let that shit get to you, but they're the ones with the issue there. Now, let me ask you, though, because people are like that, and obviously we live in a time where things can be done. Would you have any kind of surgery down the line to, like, get rid of some of the loose skin, or does that not concern you?
I mean, maybe over time, but, like, just right now, I'm not tripping about it, you know? Like, it's not much of a hindrance on my performances. I feel like, if anything, it's kind of a benefit with the body shots and shit. But, you know, I would like to see what I look like without these fucking flaps on my chest.
Listen. Yeah. Hey, as you said, wear it as a badge of honor. Just real quick, because we're not going to stay on your fatness the whole time. But there's a lot of people out there that struggle with this. And that's kind of why I wanted to get you on. Your fight was inspiring, but, you know, it is quite the story. And obviously obesity is a real issue, certainly in the United States of America and in the UK as well. Absolutely. We're not too far behind. You know, what advice would you give to someone that is, you know, out there, they're overweight and they feel like it's just impossible? What would the advice be?
If you're thinking about it, like, that's half the battle, right? Then you know that there's a problem. Take the first step, and genuinely, when you step into a gym, everybody's looking at you for sure, 100%. But 99% of those people looking at you are giving you mental props and thinking like it's fucking amazing seeing somebody chasing after their life and trying to take a hold of, you know, their destiny, whatever it may be. Just take that first step. Like, don't worry about what other people say. People would rather see you succeed than fucking be miserable. And like you just said, anybody that's talking shit really doesn't matter. I mean, fuck them, you know? It's for you. What do you want to do with your life? Are you happy with where you're at? Because I couldn't look in the mirror and fucking smile at myself. I was so disgusted, and it basically got to a point where it was like, okay, I am ready to do something about it. Yeah. And just fucking do it, man. Nike, that bullshit works, you know? See, believe, achieve. Luke Rockhold.
There you go. Oh, I'm glad you said that. I had a lot of people message me. They're like, did he just say, fuck Luke Rockhold?
Hey, man. I'm in the presence of a fucking legend, and I've been a fan of you way longer than I've been a fan of him. So, fucking, what's up? I know he's probably this model ass, probably like, you fat fucking piece of shit. I ain't tripping. Luke.
He's definitely going to say something, but he's all right. He's not a bad guy at all. So you were working at a pizza place. Now you're in the UFC. You just had a big win. You get a $50,000 bonus. I mean, talk about, you know, turning your life. You've lost weight, 200 pounds or something. You got a $50,000 bonus. You got a UFC contract. It's your daughter's birthday today as well. So all in all, a pretty good few days.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this weekend, all of the nerves, all of the worry and everything, it's dissipated. I get to come home and enjoy it, be around my family. We got a little family health emergency on my wife's side. Her dad's going through some shit, but, you know, he's pulling through, looking good. So, you know, we're just going to enjoy the holiday and enjoy some family time.
Yeah. Well, obviously, best wishes to him as well. Speaking of family members, your father, he was in the octagon. Steven Asplund Sr. If I remember rightly from my notes without looking, he had a professional MMA record of 17-12. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what's shown on Tapology. He had a lot of prior fights in like the 02, 03, 04 time, and just unsanctioned events. Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, when you gave that speech and you talked about your old man and the camera cut to him and he was there, you can see the pride on his face. And I kind of felt bad for my dad because my dad came to every single one of my fights. God bless him. He was my biggest supporter, of course, but I never gave him a shout out like that. And I'm like, I'm a shitty son. But how good is it to go through this journey with your father who's got the experience, and he must be so proud of you.
Oh, it's so surreal. Like, I mean, he fought for so long. He was on a legitimate, like, roughly 22 fight win streak in the regional scene in Minnesota, and from like 05 to 2013, and just him never really getting the recognition. He ended up going to Bellator and, you know, going to KSW for a fight, but
Oh, nice.
The guy he didn't really get to train a lot. You know, he's trying to feed 3 fucking monster kids and provide for his wife while she's working as well. And just to like even take the torch, I stole his nickname, you know, a concrete nickname. I stole his day job. I do the exact same thing he did for fucking work, still does. And to be any sort of good at fighting, you know, a lot of fighters, kids try this shit and they're not good at it at all. You know what I mean? And just to be somewhat blessed with some talent and to get to the UFC, it was so cool being able to ask him to be a corner man because he thought he was just getting a ticket. And I was like, fuck no, man. Like, this is my debut. I want to share this with you. I want you in my corner. And I came out to Struggle Jennings like father, like son. That's what I was walking out to it and the LFA shows and shit. It's a fucking dream come true, man. It's a complete vindication story for my little fat ass. Everything that I've been able to experience, especially this weekend, like meeting you, meeting fucking Forrest Griffin, Uriah Faber, and these guys all, you know, kind of knew who I was for the most part. It's incredible. Fucking Strickland. Like, I'm at such a loss for words about everything. And I'm so grateful I got to share this with my dad, my mom, and my wife.
Yeah. Yeah. And you should be proud. Did you notice in the crowd? I think you won the crowd over and you were getting a ton of cheers and stuff like that. And I'm sure people at home kind of felt the same way as well. And if I could give you any advice, it would be don't change. Stay as genuine and as real as you are. No, because people resonate with that. You know what I'm saying? People resonate with that. And yeah, they want to hear that, listen, we're all human beings and we're all vulnerable and we've all got fucking insecurities and we've all got stuff going on in our lives. And for me, finding MMA I was able to make something of myself. I was able to provide for my family and I've done a really good job at that. But just having that motivation, but also being real, being who you are. Never hide that, Steven. That's kind of like a superpower that you've got.
I really appreciate that, Mike. Seriously, it means the fucking world coming from you, and I'll definitely do my damnedest not to, man. Just try to stick with a little, throw some more confidence in there on occasion.
If you're anything like me, we couldn't change if we tried anyway. So, you know.
No shit. I've tried.
Exactly. So, dude, I'm 46. This is just the way I am. I ain't going to change. All right. So talk to me about the future. Did you have any conversations with anyone at the UFC on Saturday night? Obviously, you know, you got the 50K bonus. They enjoyed the fight. In a perfect world, when do you come back? And you got any idea who you want to fight?
Man, that Josh Hockett fucking dork has been running his mouth so bad online. And he's actually fighting one of my old opponents in Denzel Freeman on the 24th. I don't think there's a fucking chance he gets through Denzel, but if he does, I want that fight so fucking bad. I'm assuming the UFC is going to have something for me pretty soon here. My manager told me to get my fucking passport, so I'm going to go clear up this child support arrears and shit and make sure I'm a viable option for the UFC and fucking whoever they want me to. I mean, I was going to go the route of Teixeira and, you know, try to call out Derek Lewis' scary ass, but I don't want to get knocked the fuck out, you know. So we'll make it a normal.
Maybe build to that a little bit.
Exactly. No, I know that there's a lot of fun matchups, especially, you know, in the top 20 guys, 25, and I'm going to make sure that everybody understands I deserve to be here. I'm going to work my way up there, and I'm going to fucking solidify my name. So whatever the UFC wants, Dana, Sean, Mick, any of you guys, man.
Well, you know that Josh, I mean, I've never spoke to the guy, but from what I understand and what I've seen in his interviews and stuff like that, if you're going to fight him or talk about him, you know he's going to talk a little shit.
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, after my Contender Series fight, he had the audacity to pop up on this story talking about he'll crush the can of concrete, he called me a fat boy and all this other shit. Told me I need an Ozempic sponsor and shit after Saturday. Hey man, you got this social media shit too fucked up. This shit ain't sweet, man. I ain't a social media type of guy. If I see you, I'm gonna smack the fuck out of you. But I hope I get to do it in the UFC cage.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I look forward to it as well. Harrington, just jump on real quick. I'm not sure if Harrington's there, but Harrington's typically got some insightful questions that maybe I skip by.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry if that was a little weird too.
No, not at all. Not in the slightest.
Bro, you should ask Bisping what I was saying about Hockett on Saturday when we were talking about getting you on the show. Like that's I think that's a fight people definitely want to see. I think people definitely want to see that guy get the taste hit up out his mouth. So good luck, and I hope you do get the chance to smack him.
Thank you, brother.
What I was going to ask you is what is that situation like? You're in the back, you know, you fought what is that? Like probably 3 or 4 hours before you get the announcement, you're getting an extra 50K. Like,
oh my God.
What is that couple of hours like coming off of, you know, you get the knockout in the second round, you see Melky get the head kick knockout, you're like, damn, my 50K's got to be gone. Like, were you sitting on pins and needles the whole time? And what was that call like when you're like, yo, on top of everything else, winning your debut, extra 50 grand in the bank? That's got to be a good feeling.
Dude, I was at Palace Station celebrating with my family and Tommy and my, you know, just my team, right? And my phone ended up dying. I couldn't charge it worth of shit. So I'm sitting here kind of blindsided. And then I look over at the bet, you know, the sports book or whatever at Palace Station, and I see fucking fight of the night, Steven Asplund, Sean Roth, and I lost my shit. I lost my shit. I started jumping up and down. I was like, oh my fucking God, you know?
That's crazy.
Like, the security ran up on me. I was like, no, I'm not going to cause problems. Like, I'm just so excited. I'm a broke piece of shit. Like, I can't wait to fucking change. You know, I get to change my life now. You know, I got so many things I get to take care of. And it's my little girl's 4th birthday today. Happy birthday, baby girl.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday. What's her name?
Aubrey Rose.
Aubrey Rose. So you got to get us something special, man.
Oh my God, yeah, man.
You can't say that you're broke.
I'm still waiting for the fucking money to hit my account, but I swear to God, the party we throw her is gonna be ill. No, man, it was incredible. So I'm just mind blown. You know, I got to share that shit with my dad. My dad's on the phone losing his shit. He called my wife, and we just sat there and cried for a minute. You know.
Yeah.
So when they said you have to get your passport, have you ever left the country before?
No, I tried to. You know, it's a long story with my child support stuff. I actually put myself on child support so I could see my daughter. My kid's mom is super vindictive and spiteful, so it's been an uphill battle. But now I'm able to wipe away all the arrears. Once I did get, you know, custody and time of her, they backdated it like a fucking year and a half, so it ended up being like 17 grand. So now well, you know, now I'm a viable option for the UFC, and not all my fucking winnings gone. So I'll be able to, yeah, I get to say, I'm gonna put in the fund for a house, man. Like, this is fucking life changing. I'm so grateful.
Well, it all came through hard work, man. It wasn't by fluke. It wasn't by chance. It came through hard work, determination, and staying disciplined. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy the time with your daughter. We'll let you go. Look forward to seeing you in the UFC next time. But Steven, thanks for your time today.
Thank you guys so much, and thank you for all the support and the kind words, man. I'll always do whatever I can to leave a piece of myself in that octagon. Much love, Mike.
My man. Look forward to it. Take care, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. How can you not love that guy? Went from 500 pounds to fighting in the UFC and delivering big time. He's a cool guy, man. He's a cool guy. I enjoyed talking to him this week and just then. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for being a believer. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and ringing the bell if you have done. If you haven't done, what are you doing? Send your questions into bympod@gmail.com. As you know, we will answer your questions if you send them in to bympod@gmail.com. With that said, what do we have this week, Brian?
So this first question I thought was pretty funny. So,
hey, what's up, guys? Love the show. I guess a question. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Was there ever a fight where you, Bisping, you were rooting against Felder, and Felder, same for you? Was there ever a fight where you recall rooting against Bisping? And if so, what fight was it? I guess the second part of my question is, what is your favorite fight of Bisping's, and Bisping, what is your favorite fight of Felder's? My personal favorite fight of yours, Mike, is when you beat the dog shit out of Kung Lee. And Felder, my favorite fight of yours is against Mike Perry. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your week.
Well, thank you very much. He is putting us on the spot there. You know,
that's good questions, though.
Trying to cause a bit of division.
But it also then ends on a positive, right? It's like, hey, did you ever root against each other? But then also, what was your favorite fight of each other? I'll start. Favorite fight I'll start with. I think when you fought Anderson Silva, that craziness. I remember where I was watching it, and I was getting ready to watch like local fights that night, and a bunch of us were sat around a cell phone, making sure that we tuned in to watch the main event of you two guys. So yeah, we were all invested, a bunch of us, and we were rooting for you. So when you got like flying knee and there was all that controversy, we were like, oh, what the fuck? It's like, you didn't stop it. You didn't stop it. And I'm trying to think about
no. But, and I'll jump in there and say, favorite fight of yours. I mean, guess what it is?
Hooker.
Dan Hooker, of course. Come on, man. How could he not be?
That was my favorite fight that I put on.
It was an absolute war.
And in terms of rooting against you, like none of the fights that you had later in your career, I'm trying to think if there was anything early when you were that brash guy coming off the show where maybe I was like, oh, this guy can be an asshole. I can't really think of maybe no, because when did you fought? No, that.
Which one?
I want to say maybe when you fought Henderson the first time.
Hey, fair enough.
But
you're from the USA, baby.
I was USA. I didn't, you know what I mean? But
yeah, Team USA, Team UK. But brash.
Then it was like so many of your fans, as you get to watch you and know you and see your shit talk is kind of just banter to you guys, and you get to even know more English people and realize this is kind of how you guys go. Then it's like, all right. And you were good. So, I mean, you can't deny that.
For me, I immediately thought of this one, and it's not, no. I immediately went to this one as a possibility. I was like, it's the only one where, because I didn't know any of your opponents personally, you know what I mean? So why would I root against you for any of those? I mean,
I wasn't like fighting, especially most of my career, I wasn't fighting big main events. You know what I mean? I could be slipping on the radar.
You know, Edson Barboza, you know what I mean? Definitely fan favorites. But yeah, there was, but your final fight, which I called, so I was very diplomatic. I did know Rafael dos Anjos, and it wasn't. I never rooted against you, but it was one of those because obviously we were working with each other.
It's tough. Yeah, you don't know which way to even think about it.
It was one of those where I was a little torn. I was like, "Fuck!" I know Paul. Paul's awesome. He's great. He's great at what he does, and I also have trained a lot with Rafael dos Anjos. So it was one of those. I was just like, you know what? May the best man win.
And I would have ruined his rise for sure. Getting back into anything if I beat him that night on 5 days' notice would have fucked his whole career up. And he kept fighting, and I basically retired. So ultimately, it all worked out.
Has he retired now?
No, I'm saying I retired after that one. He fought a bunch more, but he had that bad knee surgery in the when he fought. Oh my god,
Jeff Neal.
Yeah, remember? And I think he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he plans on fighting again. I think he's 40.
October 2024, and he is 41 years old.
Yeah, so
that's a shitty way to go out.
Yeah, it sucked that's how it might have went down, but unfortunately for him, I mean, reconstructive surgery on your ACL at 41 and trying to come back to that level of competition is he's a crazy bastard, but
I can't remember the circumstances. Do you know what happened
in the fight? I think he just stepped. He might have eaten some leg kicks, and then I think he stepped weird on it, or he went to kick himself. I can't remember either, but I remember him going down and just holding it, and it was obvious. It's like
that is an awful way to end a legendary career, if it is indeed the end, because he has had a legendary run. I mean, he was 32-17, or is 32-17. Lost his last 3 to former lightweight champion or welterweight interim champion. He was a lightweight champ, and he was the welterweight.
Yeah, he was lightweight champ. Yeah. And he fought everybody. Oh,
he fought Colby Covington for the welterweight championship.
Yeah.
So
and that's why when I got that offer, I was like, fuck yeah, I want to fight a former lightweight champ. You know what I mean? Yeah. On his way back to lightweight, I figured it was better than fighting Islam.
You took that on 5 days' notice?
Yeah, I got the call, I think Monday. And I think I left that night or Tuesday. It was like that. It went rolling that day. I had kind of joked to my manager. I saw that Islam was out of that fight, and I was like, yeah, sure. I'll take that fight. I'm in shape. I was getting ready for a friggin' race. And he was like, are you serious? We'll try to negotiate and get some more money and stuff like that. He's like, but I can't go to him if you're joking. Like, you got to let me know. And I was like, see what he says. I was like, I'm not taking it for just what my pay is right now. Like you need to sweeten the pot and make something. And he's like, well, yeah, I'll reach out. And he was like, they're interested. Let me know if you're dead serious. Cause if you're dead serious, we'll try to really make this deal happen. And I was like, let me check my weight. We were good to go. I was like, I can make it.
You're like, I'm doing triathletes. I'm underweight.
Thank God. But then I was just starting it. So I was still like walking around mostly at like 180 pounds, maybe a little under some days. So I was like 179, 180, I think, when I took it. I had 5 days but I wasn't primed. I wasn't water. You know what I mean? I got everything off but the last 5 pounds. And that's where it was like killing me to get the last 5 pounds out.
Any regrets in that fight, Paul, from taking that fight? Do you wish you'd taken it or when you look back?
No,
because then your last fight would have been Dan Hooker. I thought you would have ended on a win, but
yeah, and I was already sort of thinking about retirement after the Hooker fight because I knew that was my real, like that was the fight. It was a main event and it was another top contender. There was fights to be made after that win. I would have been on a big win streak at lightweight and, number 6 at the time, fighting number 7. And when that split decision went the other way, I literally felt all the desire and energy come out of me because it was like, this is my run. That was the best run I had been on. If I had won that fight and got a big fight with like Poirier or somebody up in the rankings like that, then I would have had a shot at fighting for the belt. And once that went away, I was like, man, I need at least 3 more fights to be even in that picture against these fucking studs. And I knew that was not going to happen.
Well, that was that. And this is this. That is the end of the yet to win an award, Believe You Me podcast. Ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, like the video. Enjoy your week and your weekend. We'll see you next Monday.